is a game I have written based actually on a design from the late 90s that I made and forgot about for decades, and then realized it was kind of charming and needed a new look. I have also written it to help people learn about game mastering. It's part of the point. So, in the spirit of the theme, choose a character. They're goblins and humans, and they are various personalities and sorts. The abilities that are written there are all available to your characters. You can do everything on there. Your capabilities with them vary, but none of them are impossible for you. And you are happy to check them out and grab anybody that you want to. There are various locations for play. They include the bubbling swamp down in here, and the white waste, which is up here, and then we have the crystal shore. We have Embor, which is up here in the mountains, and finally we have Zorandor in the middle. Zorandor is best illustrated with this page. You may take every combination of New Zealand and the Scottish Highlands, throw them together, and have a great Peter Jackson visual fest. But that is kind of the idea.
Kan du ställa upp den här?
Or if we were playing in the White Waste, I brought this for the same thing. These are all terribly, terribly legally ripped away from the internet and printed out. And so, without knowing where we are going to be, grab a character of your liking and pass me the other two to get them out of the way. And it looks as though we have chosen, mostly.
Yeah, I take this one.
Okay. Please.
Ooh, if I can pronounce the name. Yes.
Well, there is this one too. So.
Yeah, it's more difficult.
Yeah, you have to choose the character from the name.
Yeah.
Well, you got the easy one.
Yeah, I took the one.
Yip. Oh, I should have taken that one.
So here we are. I have chosen arbitrarily Zorandor.
Okay.
To play that. And the way this game works is that each of your characters is here on purpose. You may or may not have a goal. If you do, then you will write it there in something called a piglet. It could be some reason you are there, something you are looking for, or maybe you are being chased by somebody, or whatever. Or maybe you are just trying to buy a horse. I don't care. But you are, but you don't have to have one. And you can make up a piglet at any time. You can have more than one. Their rules roll. I will tell you when we play a little while. And then a little bit more about Zorandor. Let's see here. Yes, forested hills and mountain ridges. A feudal society with castles like Free Home, Strong Home, Brave Home, and places like that. The roistering human folk ride huge horses. They hunt manticora for fun. They wage incessant border skirmishes. They all have disagreements about little borders of the little regions. And there are big goblins. They are big and lumpy, and they are very dangerous if they are bothered. So that is our Zorandor area. Yeah. Well, they are not necessarily from there, though.
Yeah.
Some of you are from Zorandor, and some of you are not. In fact, I don't think anybody that you chose. So you are all outsiders here. The characters do know each other, but it is completely up to you whether you are there together or which ones are there together and which ones are not. That is completely up to you. There are a few other things. If you have questions about anything on your sheet, clinkers are little cheap coins that you can throw around. And you have, if not an unlimited supply, just figure, if it says it's on your sheet, then you can always reach into your pocket and grab a few more until that gets ridiculous, then you're out. Now, I'm not going to tell a person playing a character from Zorandor a few more things because we don't have one. So now, gathering for play, there is no story plan. It may become a wonderful rising action dramatic arc with a very satisfying climax because of what we do. It might not. It may devolve into chaos, at which point we say, and that's how it ended.
Yeah.
Or it may turn into like sometimes strangely, it turns into kind of a tone poem. We get kind of these weird little sort of contrasting portraits and events. And we say, well, that's kind of beautiful. And then we stop.
Yeah.
That happens too.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to, you're in the same place, which has the same general place. And the specific location is not limited to, but has, we can think of it as kind of centrally located socially and physically, this little fort-ish village area.
The bubbling swamp.
Of course. In bubbling swamps.
The Crystal Shore is no, Embor.
Yeah,
right,
Embor.
Yeah, Embor. Yes, well, that is the beautiful mountain realm with the towns and dwellings embedded into the sides of the mountains, and the floating city, you know, and the flying riding mounts and things like that. It's a very nice place. It's a little high-toned compared to a lot of other places.
Oh, okay. So,
Each player should state, I don't need a statement of intent or goals unless you want to write down a little piglet, which you may. So a piglet, if you want to, is some personal reason to be here or that you want to do, that has led you here. Seeking a magic trinket might be one. Being chased by assassins is another. Wondering what happens to your acquaintance or family member last known to be here. These are, as you can see, perfectly good tropes that we can make use of, or anything else of the kind. They don't have to be complicated. In fact, they should not be complicated. We don't need that. So anything of the kind is, and again, not required. But if it occurs to you, either due to events, I hate that guy, I want to kill him, that's a piglet. Something like that.
Not you, Jonas.
Yeah, abstractly, that guy over there. And so if that's the case, you would write it in as a piglet. Or if you, any number of things. Piglets give you a rule that you can make use of.
Yeah.
That is quite handy. Now,
do we keep them secret? So to
no,
speak,
not necessarily, unless you don't need to keep them secret.
No.
Now, you don't have to reveal to the other characters that you have them. So the character may keep it private, that is for sure. So in that case, let's just think about where do you think your character would be, and remember you are outsiders at the moment. So either you are entering this area or you are in the outlying forests and rocky lands of this kind. And the first thing to do is to say, well, how are you getting along in this region? Are you seeking a place to stay? Are you trying to camp out in the wilderness? If you were looking at your piglet, what are you doing in regard to that? Let's just take a quick look, an opening look for each character. Talk to me about what you might be doing or trying to do.
I'm trying to not be in the bubbling swamp. That's what I'm trying to do, because there's stuff there.
And you have succeeded in doing that. But the question now is, what are you trying to do in order to not have to go back or anything of the kind? It's not, you see, it's not, you may not like the bubbling swamp, but at least it is comfortably and familiarly wet.
Oh, I like
This
the bubbling
place-
swamp, just not the people.
Good
Or
enough.
Or they don't like me.
That's wonderful, but the problem now is that this place is not wet and it does not bubble.
Mm, no.
And the familiar frogs with their tusks are not hopping up to say hello to you.
It's
Nobody
not cold,
seems to
but
know.
I'm fine
Nobody
with
seems to know who the frog god is.
Hmm.
I mean, it's very difficult
Hmm.
for a little goblin. And
Well, I'm interested.
yeah,
Can you explain to me?
do you want the characters to be together? You can-
But my idea, when you asked, are you camping out? No, I'm definitely seeking out civilization.
Excellent,
I want to seek out people
excellent. Okay.
because my pickle is this.
Ah, ooh, okay.
Because I think the people in this region they're
Uh-huh.
too nice. They're too cheerful. It all seems too good.
Right. Okay.
There's
that is-
something underneath.
Perfect. Okay, so that one I have an idea.
So I have to talk to people to find out.
So I have that from you, Henrik. I still don't
Yeah.
quite have a visual on you.
Yeah, well, I'm in town as well,
Okay.
because people are more fun
Mhm.
here.
So you were trying to get along socially.
Well, I'm very earnest. I'm an earnest princess from the White West. Of course, I would be staying at the inn
Mm-hmm.
with my good riding lizard and everything. I'm here because I'm looking for my brother, who has been wrongfully accused, and I want to know his side of the matter, and I want to acquit him. So I should write down now.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, I'm from Amber,
Mhm.
and I'm interested in things which are slightly different from the normal and magic stuff, things like that.
So you are seeking, or
I am seeking a manticora tail. I've heard that that is very good for making potions and things.
Mhm.
And I also, or I want to, because I also want in my home, I want to have this kind of doorbell. with a
Oh,
manticora
okay,
tail,
right,
so-
okay, yeah,
so-
yeah. Okay, that sounds like a fine thing. So,
yeah.
so you have arrived, and the first thing that you will that we will look at for each of you is you're all apparently fairly socially oriented here.
Yes.
And so all of you should begin, well, this should be up to you. What of these skills do you think you would be using primarily? Since you are outsiders, I suggest that culture might be one to consider, but that may not be your first choice, depending on the character or yourself. So I'm just pointing out that culture is probably going to come into this sooner or later. So you can
these
start
are
with that.
all pretty self-evident except Elan. That
Yes.
is a little.
The most basic use of Elan is to not be shot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The other use of Elan is if you are interested in bringing in your piglet into the story, into the fiction. You do that more than I do. So, for example, the brother. It's time to roll to check your Elan for bringing in brother situations.
No?
If that's what you want. You could start with that if you wanted to just jump into brother stuff. And so that the third use of Elan, as you can see, it's quite important, and very few of you are any good at it, is to when you are killed in this game, we don't see the final. We don't get a confirmation.
Fallen frame.
And later in the adventure, you can roll Elan to reappear,
Oh, all right.
having escaped certain death.
Yeah, sure.
And even if you don't do that, or if you fail the rolls through the rest of the adventure, you will come back in the next adventure in the same way. So characters do not die in this game. And if to reappear after that, probably. The way I like to look at it is, how did you survive? I don't want to talk about it. Or however you want to play it. So, excellent. Therefore, let's get some specifics. What skills do you think for each of you would be involved here?
I think I would open up with convince
Okay.
to get people around here to trust me and open up and talk to me.
That's probably more like culture.
Is that culture? Okay.
Yeah. You're not, it's convince is a little more like in the moment, this thing, right? Specific. How about you, Henrik?
I was thinking about the same, trying to convince people that I'm actually honest and trustworthy.
Right. The way I'm saying that is you would do that after they find you doing something that is dishonest.
Yeah.
And then you would convince them that that's
Convince is
really
more like
okay.
fast talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so right now it's just trying to kind of get along
Yeah.
and deal with things. And for you?
Well, seeing as how I'm looking for my brother, I was thinking culture, but I'm also thinking maybe money, because money talks.
That's very, very true. Right. You're setting yourself up, in a nice and decent way. Absolutely correct. How about you?
To get manticore tails.
Well, take the slow road at the moment. You have to deal with these people and live here and stuff. So, or you could be looking around outdoors out of your own curiosity.
But maybe I'll go for, I don't know, magic might be good.
So you're just going to do some magic to try to locate manticores.
Yeah, why not?
That's perfectly all right.
That's not.
We'll get to you last because of the magic.